What I'll also tell you is that Agent Mulder has developed a consuming devotion to an unassigned project outside the Bureau mainstream. Are you familiar with the so-called X-Files?
Welcome everybody to the Dark Talk Files. I am your host Dan, and I'm joined by my FBI partner Paul. How are you doing, Paul?
Hello Daniel, I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Good, very good. Excited for this one, as I say every single episode, but this one I am genuinely excited for.
Oh yeah, we're going to get into it, but this fucking slaps, this one. This is an absolute banger. So, before we do get into it though, Dan, you messaged me earlier saying you were just getting some toast, right? And I'm very much into talking about toast. So what did you have on your toast?
Well, it's just breakfast toast, so it was literally just butter, proper real nice thick Lurpak butter.
I knew you were going to say Lurpak, you suck.
It's the best.
No.
I just have 2 slices of white toast, toasted very well, cut into diagonals, just before I head off to work. Quick and easy. Keeps me going until first break at 10 o'clock. Okay. But today, because I didn't have to go to work, I didn't have to rush. Well, I did have to rush because we were late for this podcast. I had 2 slices of rye bread, which was fucking amazing.
A marble rye.
Yeah, I am more a fan
nice.
of seeded and wholemeal than I am white. The white bread is just what we have in the house, what the kids eat. What about you?
So I love toast, and I'm very experimental with my toast. I usually go for sourdough, seeded sourdough, oval shape. I love toast with a good just bit of butter. That's quite nice. But I've just discovered honey on toast, which is absolutely fucking amazing. But I'm a huge fan of peanut butter on toast.
Oh yeah,
and
hell yeah.
Jam as well. This one will throw you a bit, and you probably disagree because no one agrees with this. Hot sauce on toast.
Yeah, but not on its own. We have to have something else on it.
No. Butter and hot sauce.
I've never tried that. I don't think I would.
It's fucking ace. But then again, any excuse to eat some hot sauce for me. So.
I used to make a toasted bagel. This is back when I was experimenting with being a vegan. Toasted bagel, plant-based spread, sliced avocado on the bagel, black pepper, and then some of that Cholula hot sauce. You know, the one with the woman on the bottle.
Oh, yeah, I know the one. Yeah.
You know the
it's
bottle.
really good. That really good hot sauce with a little wooden top on it.
Yeah, that's
It's great.
Like bottles of that. Empty bottles of that around my house. Love that shit. Okay, yeah, so we'll get into the episode. Bit of a different cold open this episode. It's not involving a case. This is involving we cold open at the Scully residence, and we meet Dana's parents for the first time, and we meet her dad for the only time because he gets one scene where he's alive.
Yeah, played by Don S. Davis.
Yeah. We spoke about him before on the pod.
We have.
Twin Peaks legend, yeah. I couldn't remember this, though. I was very surprised that I know that he died, but I thought he was like a bit character before he died for a couple of episodes. I thought he was like would appear in like 1 or 2 episodes, and then you would have this big death episode for him, but no, he comes in and goes straight out.
Yeah. Now you say that, I do remembering a memory of him being in it way more, but no, it's just this one, and then gone.
So they're having dinner, and Scully's family, their parents leave. Scully falls asleep in front of the television, where I love these infomercials. You know, these proper like, "Hey, Billy Mays here." Like, what is this one? Is this for like spray on hair?
Spray that ball patch.
Scully awakens on the couch, and she has a vision of her father sitting there in an armchair over her. And in her confusion, she believes he's actually there. But she wakes up properly when she gets a phone call from her mother, who explains that her dad has just had a massive heart attack and passed away, and this leaves Scully utterly bewildered as we go to the credits. What did you think of this scene? I thought this was really fucking creepy when the dad is muttering silently, he's mouthing words. I mean, it would be one thing if he was just stood over her, like, and they made it sort of like this all heavenly. You know, like, oh, isn't it lovely your dad can see? But they make this as fucking scary as possible.
Yeah, they didn't have to go all out with how fucking weird this was.
I know,
it's like he's like, obviously he's in that armchair and he looks pale and he looks scared and sweating and he's like mouthing words, which the trivia will tell us what he was mouthing later on.
Oh, right, okay.
He's sitting there and he's mouthing words and he looks fucking horrifying. Like, if you believe in like ghosts and the soul passing, at what point would you say that that he's at here, like purgatory kind of state where he's just like trying to see her before he finally goes.
I think because he worked for the US military, he's standing in purgatory looking down at the hell they're going to throw him in. to be honest.
Fucking hell.
Like, he served in Vietnam, don't you?
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, we open up for our actual crime of the week, and we're in North Carolina, home of the Hardy Boys, and we're at a Lover's Lane. We're at a Lover's Lane, and there's a young couple trying to bang in this car, and they are accosted by an imposter police officer.
Not the Zodiac.
You know what? Yeah, I've got it here. He's LARPing as the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah. I was trying to think of what to call him. I was like, not the Zodiac Killer? Yeah, that'll do.
We'll get into the killers later. There's a lot of they've taken like every single trope from every single serial killer for this one. Like the shootings from like the Son of Sam. They've got the way he's acting from the Zodiac. The names of the two killers is basically from Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Yeah. I was wondering if you're going to notice that. While we're on it, should we just say that the killer's name is Lucas Henry. Henry's name was Henry Lee Lucas.
Yeah.
So
I think his name is Lucas Jackson Henry, his full name.
Lucas Jackson Henry, but after they middle name him, they would just refer to him as Lucas Henry.
So this not Zodiac Killer shoots the guy, and the girl, I think, escapes, but he kidnaps a separate couple, which we don't see. So at the FBI office, Scully comes back to work early to help Mulder with a case, and Mulder has been contacted by an incarcerated serial killer, Luther Lee Boggs, who is claiming he knows where the two kidnapped victims are, and he can save the kids in return for a commutation of his sentence from death to life. Mm-hmm. Mulder is the person who caught him back in the day, and Boggs is claiming that he's a psychic. But Mulder, uncharacteristically, doesn't believe he's actually a psychic and thinks he's pulling a fast one.
Did you? So without jumping ahead too far, I just wondered if you noticed the Easter egg in this scene.
Go on, tell me.
During the conversation, it gets towards the end, and Mulder starts walking out of the room. And as he walks out, he stops by the door and he speaks to Scully. And there's like a coat hanger with a cap hanging off it.
Right.
And the cap is Max's nightcap.
Oh, cool. No, I didn't see
that. From that other episode. Yeah.
Right.
So I saw it. I was like, nightcap. I was like, fuck. Googled it. I was like, yeah, it's nightcap. And then I realised they sell them online. You can buy that cap. I know what's going in my basket. When I can justify paying 20 quid for a cap.
Yeah. So we are at Scully's father's funeral, and Scully is complaining that her father was entitled to a full ceremonial burial at Arlington with all the other decorated generals, but instead they're having a private ceremony, and Bill Scully's ashes are being scattered off the back of what looks like Quint's shark hunting boat from Jaws. This absolute, big old banger of a fishing boat.
Yeah, it's like Forrest Gump's first Jenny boat.
The Jenny. You just see Lieutenant Dan swimming past with his top off.
He got magic legs.
Yeah, and this harbour, it just looks something like, for anyone that lives in North Wales, like Colwyn Bay or Rhyl. It just looks gross.
Right, remember that you just said Colwyn Bay for the next episode, because I'm going to bring up Colwyn Bay again.
Okay, I remember. I did think this was pretty cool of Scully's dad, though, that he didn't want any pomp and circumstance. He just wanted his family there for his funeral. He didn't want any, because a lot of, military guys make that their entire life, don't they? It shows that Bill Scully was like a pretty decent guy all around, because family was important to him. And I was thinking as well, it shows what a decent guy he was, because he raised Dana Scully, who is pretty top dude, to be honest.
Yeah, top dude is Dana Scully.
Top dude Dana Scully.
And we are told that there's a slight bit of conflict between father and daughter, because he didn't want her to join the FBI. However, he did support her to do so. Yeah. And in the opening scene when he gives her a hug, you can see how good of a dad he is. Yeah. And then the wife sort of mouths job. So he's like, how's the job going, honey?
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, because I think Scully mentions in the first episode that, because I think Mulder's like, you're a doctor, but you're also a fed. And she's like, yeah, I just did it to rebel. I think she says something like that sarcastically.
Our resident prisoner gives us a little bit of exposition, a little bit of story about Scully's rebellious side later on as well.
Well, let's talk about the man himself. So Mulder and Scully go to meet Luther Lee Boggs, and he is played by the legendary Brad Dourif, who, oh my god, he gets half an hour in this episode to act his fucking chops off. He's just
fucking hell. Yeah.
Oh god.
I fully believe that everyone else in this episode were raising the bar to meet Brad Dourif's fucking skill level, because everybody in this episode is fucking great, and
Yeah,
Brad is just every time, man. You can just always count on him to just fucking act his ass off and give you 100% every time. He's fucking so good.
I knew he was in this coming in, but I almost wish I'd sort of gone in blind like you did, because I would have just like I'd seen his name on the credits, but if I'd have missed that, when he turns up as the killer, I'd have been like, I'd have been giddy. I could just watch half an hour of him just in a room just doing this. Could have made this the entire episode.
Hell yeah. Do you know what I thought as well? And like, I got a bit distracted while watching it because I was thinking about him and his career and like how good he is and everything.
Yeah.
And I know the Joker as a character, as a film character especially, is very sort of oversaturated. We've had so fucking many of them. But how did nobody think that Brad Dourif would have been a fucking great Joker?
Yeah,
in the 90s?
that's true, yeah.
We went 20 years without one. So Batman 89 to The Dark Knight, which was around 20 years. But like in that time, they could have just Brad Dourif. In this, he is like, it's almost similar to that scene in The Dark Knight where Batman's got Joker and he's interrogating him. Like we got Brad, who is just like fucking leading the whole room in the conversation. Like Batman would have shot himself if he was talking to Brad. But he had like the hair, he's got the face. That guy's so good.
I wouldn't have been surprised if Heath Ledger actually watched this as inspiration, back in the day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, they could have considered him for the Riddler, because Batman Forever was not long after this. I mean, there was a lot of problems with that production. I don't think he had a look in. I think they wanted Robin Williams at first, but then
they tried to trick Robin Williams into doing it. But they went with Jim Carrey, and what a performance that was.
I know. Yeah, we got the best Batman film. So what am I complaining about?
Quite literally, the best Batman film with the best soundtrack for any film ever. Kiss from a fucking Rose. Come on.
I gotta say though, like Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face is fucking awful. He's fucking awful.
People just said like, he just thinks he's the Joker.
He's just really camp. It's just, we'll have to do an episode on these Batman films.
Yeah. I'd like to do like the 90s ones. None of the others.
You don't like the Nolan trilogy, do you?
No, not really.
What did you think of the Robert Pattinson Batman?
I loved it. It was really good. It was quite long. That's not good for my attention span, but no, it was fucking great. I remember messaging you while I was watching it, and I was like, "This is like so good." It's just like a detective film.
Yeah. It goes
and
back to
it's like gritty without like trying too hard, like the Nolan film.
What's happening with that? Are they going to make a sequel, or is it just a one and done?
They've made the Penguin spin-off TV show.
Oh yeah, because I remember when I was watching the film, I was like, when's Colin Farrell turning up in this? Like he's I've seen his name on the credits. Who's he going to be? And then he wasn't in the entire film, and I was like, oh shit, he was the Penguin.
Oh, his makeup in that film is insane. Yeah, it's
really
so
good, isn't it? Yeah, really good.
Full transformation. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It's great.
Right, back to the X-Files. Boggs is acting possessed, and he's referring to himself in the third person. Very reminiscent of his performance in Exorcist 3 here. Mulder passes Boggs a piece of fabric that he says is from one of the victims, and Boggs acts like a sniffer dog, uses it to have a psychic vision of where the couple are being held, a dark, cold place like a cellar or a condemned warehouse or something like that. And Mulder smugly reveals, like, that fabric has nothing to do with the crime scene. I tore it off a New York's Knicks t-shirt, you dick.
You fucking liar.
He leans into Scully, he's like, this guy's a phony.
Big fat phony.
Mulder even says at the start of the episode, he's like, I do believe in psychic phenomena. It is 100% true. It's just this guy cannot do it, though.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't believe anyone could do it.
Mulder's hatred towards this man is off the charts. Like.
Perfectly justified, though. This guy is a serial killer that he a bit later on, when Boggs is seeing all his victims, there's like 40 people. That's like a world record.
Walking down that corridor. There's a pair of twins. There's like men, women, children. That whole family staring.
Yeah, he doesn't have any sort of, like, he's like the Manson family. He doesn't have any sort of profile. Just kills anyone.
Yeah. Well, a bit like Henry.
True.
That's how Henry got away with. In the film, he probably didn't even kill that many people in real life. Yeah. But in the film, that's what he said.
Because in a lot of in most serial killer fiction, they only kill the same type of person. Oh, this killer targets blonde women. This is the killer that targets couples.
Yeah, and they always leave something like a fucking rabbit's foot near the body.
Yeah. The trademark, the wet bandit.
The sticky bandit.
It's the serial killer that comes all over his victims' faces, the sticky bandit.
Ew. That's fucking gross.
Yeah, so they so Mulder and Scully leave. But as they're leaving, Scully starts to believe Boggs because he starts singing Somewhere Beyond the Sea, which was played at Scully's dad's funeral, and he calls Scully Starbuck, which is her father's nickname for her. I kind of missed this bit, but Scully basically, she follows his instructions. She goes to a warehouse and she finds a charm bracelet or necklace which belongs to the girl who's been kidnapped, which confirms to Scully that Boggs' story is true, while Mulder believes that Boggs has planned this entire thing with the help of an accomplice to make himself look like the hero so he can get his sentence reduced to life. Because, as we'll see later, Boggs is terrified of that gas chamber.
He is.
Yeah.
So what I got from this was that Scully was just driving home, I thought, and then she saw the angel statue, which clued her into look for other signs, and then she sees like the condemned building, and then she goes in, she sees the coat hanger, she sees the necklace or bracelet, whatever it was. She sees everything that relates to this crime, and then she calls it in, doesn't she? But Mulder thinks that he is trying to set them up so he can kill Mulder and maybe her, and also get off the death penalty. So, basically what you just said.
Yeah, but Scully, she admits that from a report. She says something like, "Oh, I saw suspicious activity, etc., etc." And Mulder's like, he's like, "Well, why didn't you say what actually happened?" And she's like, "It would just be too much bally."
Yeah, CBA.
Yeah, CBA, mate. Yeah, so basically the entire episode is Scully becomes the believer for this episode while Mulder is the skeptic. So to trap Boggs, they print a fake article in the newspaper saying that the kids have been found and rescued in order to trick Boggs into calling his accomplice. So they walk him to the prison phones and they're all watching him on the camera and they've bugged the call. And Boggs makes his call and Mulder's cell phone rings, which is, I thought it was so funny because Mulder's like, "Whose phone is that? Turn it off." And they're like, "Mulder, it's yours." He's like, "Oh." He just answers it. And it's Boggs on the line and he's looking up at the camera and he's like, he's like, "It's not me, Agent Mulder." I fucking love it.
I thought this was a pretty good plan. I thought anybody else this would have worked on. And I also thought, in this episode, Mulder needs to change his name from Spooky Mulder to Sneaky Mulder.
Sneaky
Mulder.
Mulder.
He is fucking so sneaky in this. That's two tricks he's got him with. Well, the first one kind of worked, but the second one, it was massive failure.
Yeah, we get more Brad Dourif scenery chewing as he has a vision of the kidnapper/killer and provides Mulder and Scully with a location. He describes the crime scene to Mulder and he's like, "Don't go near the White Cross as it means doom for you, Agent Mulder." And Mulder's like, "Shut the fuck up, dude." So the feds storm the killer's lair and Mulder catches a stray one when the killer escapes. Yeah, Mulder gets blasted. And Scully notices that Mulder has been shot while he was standing next to this gigantic wooden cross. Is it like, I couldn't tell if it was a cross or if it was like the beams of the warehouse have just sort of made that shape, or is it if it was like a religious cross?
I thought it was something to do with boats. You know how you'd like tie a boat around something?
Yeah,
because it was like they were like circular, the poles, weren't they? I don't think it was meant to be a cross, but it was cross shape.
That's what. Yeah, because I was thinking, what was a giant, like, you know, one of those like Las Vegas crosses that, you know, outside outdoors. So Mulder is rushed to A&E while Scully has to basically finish this case by herself. They rescue the female captive, but the killer escapes with the male hostage. They ask the girl to ID some... On my notes here, I've got the hashtag rescued girl. Why have I put a hashtag on it? What the fuck's wrong with me? Yeah, so the killer is ID'd by the hashtag rescued girl as Lucas Jackson Henry, Boggs' suspected partner. So yeah, like we said before, Boggs is terrified of dying, and because as he was being executed previously, the ghost of all his victims were lined up in the corridor watching him walk to the gas chamber. And when he was in the gas chamber, they were all stood towering over him, and it was fucking pretty spooky fucking like visions here.
Yeah, big time. Very Stephen King, I think.
Yeah,
can imagine a Stephen King story with a murderer going to being put to death with all his victims' ghosts around him.
So Scully tries to get Boggs a stay of execution and a deal, but the judge won't have it. Quite rightly, the judge is like, "This man deserves to die. I don't care about any deal." But Scully goes to Boggs and tells him he's got a deal anyway, and Boggs just has this vision and just tells her exactly where the killer is and where that lad's being held. And I was like, dude, maybe you should have had your lawyer with you and signed some actual paperwork, because like Scully just comes to, "Yeah, you've got a deal," and then he just gives gives all his cards away, but then she's like, yeah, there is no deal. And Boggs is like, yeah, I know.
If you really were psychic, and he's like, there is no deal.
That's it, yeah.
And reveals that he already knew, but he does reveal also that
you didn't have to be.
She did try.
You didn't have to be psychic to realize there was no deal, because she just comes in and says, "Yep, got your deal, definitely."
Big thumbs up. Shake on it.
Shake up. Pinky promise is a deal. So Boggs tells Scully that Lucas is in a place called the Devil's Brewery, and he's about to kill his victim. So they send a crack SWAT team to capture Lucas, and just as he's about to bring the axe down on the dude, Scully turns up and blasts the axe out of his hand. So that's one shot for Scully.
4-1 to Scully.
Bullet Club.
Yeah, Lucas puts in a good effort trying to escape when he clacks one of the SWAT dudes with this gigantic barrel in his face. He hides around the corner and just clobbers with him. I thought it was really funny.
I laughed my ass off in bed, just like that. And the thing is, right, I was trying to figure out why he would do this, because he's got so he runs away and he's gained some ground on him, yeah? But he waits just so he can belt one of them in the face. Is he hoping for it to be like him to be like a bowling ball and knock everyone else down, and then he can keep running? Because I don't see the benefit. He could have probably got onto his boat again by then.
He's operated on some cartoon character logic.
Yes, smash. But it was funny though. It was really, really funny.
So yeah, when he runs across this bridge on this rickety old bridge stairwell thing, it gives way beneath him. And if we're going on cartoon character logic, he should have hovered over the air for a bit, held up a sign that said "help" and looked at the camera before he fell to his death. Yeah, so Lucas falls to his death, plummets to the ground, and dies on the concrete. And the camera pans up, and we see a gigantic graffitied blue devil sprayed on the floor, which is something that Boggs warned Scully about. Did he say something like "stay away from the blue devil" or something like that?
Yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, stay away from the blue devil. The only thing is though, she noticed the devil after he'd already fallen through. Maybe she should have gone to chase him and then saw the blue devil and then gone, "Whoa, I'm gonna wait," and then he falls.
Yeah, maybe that would have worked. Yeah,
but this is a good episode, so I'm not gonna pick faults with it when I don't need to.
So we go back to Boggs in jail, and he's led to the gas chamber. He tells Scully that he'll pass a message on to her from her father, but he says, "I'll do it at the gas chamber." So as he's in the gas chamber about to be executed, the warden says, "Have you got any final words?" And he looks up for Scully to pass on the words to her, but Scully is not there. She doesn't attend the execution.
So yeah, she no-sells his execution. I was a bit surprised by that, because I think I know she was like, no. Do you know what? I just remember in the end, it makes sense that she does that, because when she goes and meets Mulder in the final scene, she is basically talking herself out of it being real, isn't she? So she's obviously bailed out of the execution because she can feel herself verging towards the believer side, and then she's like, fuck it, no, I'm not even going to go there, and I can explain everything that he's done, and that's what she does.
Yeah, she starts to rationalise it to herself, because she says well, he knew that we were partners, so he could have got all that information. He could have found out all that information. But I mean, come on, your dad calls you Starbuck is a bit. Or that they played Beyond the Sea at your father's funeral. I guess he could have been there in the bushes.
And their wedding as well.
Yeah.
Could have been there in the bushes at her father's funeral. Or did he just have a little day trip out?
Lucas could have been in the bushes at the father's funeral, stalking Scully, and found that Beyond the Sea was being played, and then reported back to Boggs saying, "Oh yeah, sing Beyond the Sea, that'll fucking freak her out." No, I'm just saying this is what Scully may have thought. I'm not saying that happened. This is what Scully thought. She also thought there was a Libyan fighter jet flying over the US last episode. So. She's not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer these days. I don't know what's going on with her. She is doing some mental gymnastics to make all this seem rational.
She is being very naive.
She does mention to Mulder. She does say at this point, she says, "I am scared to believe." She does actually say that in this episode. So she is. I think she's not quite coming around yet, but she's aware that something was going on in this episode, and she cannot explain it.
Yeah, I think out of all the shit she's seen, she probably knows that she should be starting to open her mind a little bit.
Yeah. She saw the fucking space ghost as well.
She literally saw the space ghost in his face moving around. Because I'm a person who wants to believe, and if I started seeing like supernatural shit all the time, I'd be like very open to believing it straight away.
Straight away.
But as a person who doesn't want to believe, like her,
you go in with your own bias, though, your own confirmation bias. You know,
exactly.
You go in with your own ideas, and you fit the evidence around it that way. So that's and Mulder's guilty of that as well. If Mulder sees anything, he believes instantly it's paranormal. So they're both guilty of it.
They're both at the opposite ends of the spectrum, whereas he is ready to believe at any point, and she is ready to not believe.
Yeah, she's gone from like a middle ground centrist who would look at all the evidence to in this episode. I think she crosses the line to being like, right, I've seen some shit, but I'm going to choose to believe what I want to, which is to be a skeptic, which is isn't like her really, but yeah. So what did you think of this one?
Yeah. Absolutely fucking loved it. I think this is a 10 out of 10 episode, right? I prefer Aliens, obviously. It's not my favourite so far, but in terms of quality, story writing, structure, acting, 10 out of 10. Nice. The scene with Scully, this is a very Scully-centric episode, which is I really enjoyed, you know. And there's that scene where she like loses her shit with Brad. I'm just going to call him Brad. She loses her shit with him. She calls him son of a bitch, and there's so much fucking anger in her voice and in her face. Like, we don't get that from Scully usually. So she got to show off. Gillian Anderson got to show off a bit of her, like, fucking a different side to her a little bit. Yeah. And, like, that scene specifically, like, when he's talking to her and she looks terrified and her hair's like a mess because she's been ragging her head, and it's just like such a powerful scene, you know? For a fucking TV show in the 90s. Yeah. Like, really strong, powerful TV show. And everything about it, like, what this made me realise was that if The X-Files wasn't supernatural / alien TV show, and it was just a crime drama. Yeah. I know this had supernatural stuff in it, but there was a lot of it was a bit like Silence of the Lambs, you know. Yeah. Very similar to Silence of the Lambs. If it was just a crime drama, a gritty crime drama, right, I would probably still fucking love it, and I would in an alternate universe we have that, and I would love to see it because I don't know, it's just The X-Files. I love all the actors, I love the music, I love the way it's shot and the stories and everything. Yeah, 100%, 10 out of 10, fucking loved it. Really, really good episode. How about you?
I wouldn't go as far as 10 out of 10. I fucking, you know, like I said, I could watch Brad Dourif, like I say, in an empty room for 45 minutes. I thought it was really good. I agree with everything you're saying, but I wasn't 10 out of 10 for me. I think the outside killer could have done with a bit more development. But yeah, it was a very character-driven episode, and it was a very Scully-centric episode. So we got that in Conduit for Mulder, and this gave a lot of backstory to Scully. Very good episode, I wouldn't call it one of my favourites, but the Scully stuff and the Brad Dourif stuff was just...
I would say it's either my second or third favourite so far.
Oh wow.
I love serial killer stuff. I love I do like a bit of true crime, not like weird sick true crime, but like I love like Zodiac and the story of Henry Lee Lucas and stuff like that. And I loved Silence of the Lambs as a kid as well. Yeah. So I just loved everything about it. As I say, not my favourite, and I'd give it a 10 out of 10 for an episode, but not it's not my favourite personally. So just repeating myself now, aren't I?
Have you got any trivia for us?
Say that again, sorry.
Have you got any trivia for us?
Say it again, one more time.
Have you got any trivia?
Oh, yes, I do, Daniel! Sorry. Okay. This is one of Gillian Anderson's favourite episodes. There you go. Me and her were just meant to be together. This is Chris Carter's favourite episode of the first season.
Yeah, I can see why. You're on the same wave.
It was that good. One more thing I want to mention before I carry on with the triv is this episode felt like it was about an hour and a half as well. I had to go back and check, and it was 46 minutes long. It's like
in a good way.
Felt like much in a good way. Yeah, I was glued to the screen. Chris Carter had to lobby hard for the casting of Brad Dourif as serial killer Luther Lee Boggs. Dourif was more expensive than the usual guest star, but Carter knew he would be perfect for the role, which he was fucking absolutely correct with. He rang Fox president Peter Roth at his home on Thanksgiving to plead his case. Roth agreed to it, mainly because he wanted to get back to his dinner.
Oh, God.
In the scene where he appears as a vision to his on-screen daughter, Dawn S. Davis is mouthing the Lord's Prayer.
Oh, okay.
And to me, that implies that he was fucking shitting himself as he was about to cross over into wherever he was going. The network was opposed to doing this episode one of the high watermarks of the first season, as they felt it traded too much in the shadow of Silence of the Lambs, which...
I can see the resemblance, yeah. There was a bit where the killer is like sort of crawling towards his victim before he's about to hit him with the axe, and I was thinking, oh, he's going to do a Buffalo Bill here, but he didn't. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of parallels between the X-Files and Silence of the Lambs anyway, because, you know, they say that Scully is basically Agent Starling, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit, but it was enough for it to just be more of a nod to it, rather than like ripping it off, because it was a different story, you know, it was... similar premise.
Yeah.
But who gives a shit? While the series is known for its alien storylines and mutant standalone stories, it has also dealt extensively in the area of seemingly ordinary serial killers. Beyond the Sea is the first episode to reflect that. One of the killers' is named Lucas Henry. There was a real-life American serial killer called Henry Lee Lucas. Yeah, we already clocked that one. First appearance of Scully's parents. This is the first episode in which either Mulder or Scully appears in the teaser. The opening scene depicts Scully with her parents. Oh, the cold opening, yeah.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the character beliefs of Mulder and Scully are switched in this episode. Mulder is skeptical and Scully believes. We know. Second utterance of the line, I want to believe. The first was 9 episodes earlier, Conduit, yeah. Don S. Davis and David Duchovny acted together in Twin Peaks 1990. Twin Peaks. There's quite a lot here. Oh, yeah, here you go. The nightcap baseball bat. The nightcap baseball cap worn by Max Fennig in episode 10 is on the coat rack in Mulder's office when he grabs coat to leave. This is the first time that Mulder is shot in the series. Implying he's going to be shot at least one more time. The last one I'm going to give you.
It feels like every episode you give me some trivia. You say, this is the first time that X has happened to Mulder, implying that it will happen again. Like, it's the first time he goes to jail. This is the first time he gets kidnapped by the aliens.
Yeah. Well, I've got another one for you. This is the first of many episodes which sees Mulder end up in hospital. So he's a fucking rascal, that Mulder.
Look forward to seeing all of these.
Yeah, big time.
So thank you for that trivia.
No problem. Would you like a spooky story?
Hell yeah.
So, this is a true story. This is the true story of a girl called Susan Jacobson, who was born on February the 5th, 1962. And she was murdered. Right, this is from Unsolved Mysteries fandom. So, 14-year-old Susan Jacobson lived with her parents, Bill and Ellen, at 30 Anderson Avenue in Port Richmond, Staten Island, New York. She was the second oldest of 7 children and often babysat her younger siblings. At 1 p.m. on the afternoon of May the 15th, 1976, Susan left her home to interview for a job at Ralph's Ices, a local ice cream parlour at the intersection of Catherine Street and Port Richmond Avenue. When she did not return home for dinner, her parents contacted the police. The police believed Susan had run away, possibly with her boyfriend. They told Bill they did not have the manpower to look for runaways. Fucking, you always hear that with police. Like in these kinds of stories, the police are like, well, it sounds to me like that 4-year-old has just fucking done one. They're probably just gone to another part of the country on their jollies. Fucking give them 2 weeks and we'll go looking. Yeah, but I think it's different. It's different nowadays, I think. I hope.
My 4-year-old's gone missing. Well, sorry, we can't do anything about that for at least 48 hours.
Yeah. That's bullshit, though. Like,
yeah, I know.
If that ever happens to you and you get told that, demand to have that not happen.
Police have a duty of care to check out if you think somebody is in danger and has gone missing and they've altered from their normal routine, they will, you'd think they would check it out.
Well, all I would recommend to any of our listeners is that if you have someone who goes missing, just make shit up until the police go looking for them. Like, oh, they've got a gun as well, or they are dangerous or whatever. Anyway, so her family, however, did not believe she ran away. They noted that she had no money on her when she left, was doing well in school and had no apparent problems at home. Dozens of family and friends searched for Susan. 2 weeks later, Bill and Ellen called psychic Dorothy Allison and asked her for her help. She said to them, I know who you are. I know why you're calling me. Just give me your address and I'll be there in 45 minutes. Dorothy immediately went to Staten Island with her husband, Bob. She knew nothing about the case and had never met Susan's family. Ellen recalls that Dorothy was very down to earth. She thought that Dorothy would be like a gypsy woman who would lay out a deck of cards or read her hand, but that was not the case. Dorothy immediately asked Ellen what the number 2562 meant to her. She said that Susan's birthday was February the 5th, 1962. I'll give you a second to take that in. Dorothy then asked about the number 405. Ellen said that Susan was born at 4:05 in the daytime. Same time as me. I was born at 4:05 as well, in the afternoon on a Tuesday. Dorothy next asked what MRA meant. Ellen had no idea. What would MRA mean to you, Dan? In caps, MRA.
Men's rights activists.
That would be MRA, you derp.
Why, what did you say? MAR?
MAR.
Oh.
Did I say it? I might have said it. I might have said MRA. It says MAR. My apologies.
It just makes me think of a Mars bar.
Oh, really? For me, it's medication administration record.
Oh, yeah, Marchart, yeah.
Yeah, Marchart, yeah. Ellen had no idea what this meant. Suddenly, Dorothy told Bill and Ellen that she needed to go to the police because she had a vision of Susan being strangled by her boyfriend. She said Susan was at the place with the MAR written in big red letters. Dorothy went to the police and tried to explain, but to no avail. Fucking stupid police. The authorities were unwilling to work with a psychic. Fair enough, but just give it a shot, you know? So Bill decided to go out on his own and investigate the many clues that Dorothy had come up with. The clues included an abandoned car with the letters MAR, an overpowering smell of oil, 2 sets of dual church steeples, dual smokestacks, 2 bridges close together, but not one for cars, swamps and marshes. So she's basically covering all of her fucking base. Bill, Ellen, and several friends searched a vast area of Staten Island. Bill notes that the clues were confusing because he could not tell if they occurred in the past, present, or future. Okay. 3 weeks after Susan's disappearance, Bill searched a place in the Port Ivory section of Staten Island called Downback. In the area is the abandoned Downey's shipyard in Marina's Harbour, also known as Marina's Marsh, which was active during World War I and II. While there, Bill found a rock that had MAR painted on it in red letters. When Bill saw the letters, he was astounded and felt that that had to be the area Dorothy described. He brought her there and showed her what he found. She said, "This is it. This is where your daughter is. Now we need the cops, we need the dogs, we need the bloodhounds, we need to drag through the swamps and marshes." However, they had none of that. Fucking excellent work, Popo. Several friends joined Bill and Ellen in searching the area. They searched as much as they could by themselves. Bill felt they did a good search, however, they never found Susan. So, there are results. 22 months after Susan's disappearance, 3 boys went muskrat hunting in Downey's shipyard, just 100 yards from the MAR letters. They found a 12-foot shaft that led to an underground bunker. Once inside, they found Susan's skeletal remains in a 55-gallon oil drum. Bill had previously searched the bunker but had turned back because it was full of water. When Bill went to the place where Susan was found, he could see almost all the same time: dual church steeples, 2 smokestacks, the abandoned car, the Bayonne Bridge, a railroad bridge, and a rock with the letters MAR. Susan was found in an oil drum, which could explain the smell of oil that Dorothy mentioned. So the killer was Dempsey Lewis, formerly known as Dempsey Hawkins. He was convicted of murdering Susan Jacobson in New York in 1976 when he was just 16 years old. Back. So yeah, I didn't want to go too much into like the whole thing because I felt like it was quite long anyway, you know. So what do you think of that then?
I mean, that's pretty uncanny. Is the woman a psychic? I mean, she guessed everything pretty much down to the location, and 100 yards from a location that she said with the words the letters MAR. I'm finding it hard to argue this one.
Well, actually, let me ask you first: do you actually believe in psychics or anything like that?
I'm just gonna. If you ask me yes or no, I say yes, I do. But
really, okay,
yeah. But I do not believe in any of that most haunted shit. I don't believe there are a lot of cold there are a lot of cold readers out there and a lot of frauds and a lot of, to the point where I don't believe in that, you know, like middle-aged women say we're going to see a psychic tonight and they told me this, and it's always the same old shit they tell them, like, oh, your deceased loved one really loves you and they want you to know this and they want you to know this. That's fucking the biggest load of shite ever. Psychics, yeah, I do believe in psychics, yeah. I find it hard to put, I'm going to find it hard to put into words, but like, I don't believe in any of that sort of stupid stuff. It's like with ghosts as well, like, I do believe in ghosts, but I don't believe in like, oh, when I went into the room and it was really cold, ooh, you know, that kind of stupid fucking made-for-TV trash bullshit. I don't believe in any of that, but I do believe in apparitions and ghosts, and yeah, I do, yeah. Sound like a fucking nutter now, don't I?
No. No, I find it. You just reminded me of. I think it was Halloween Resurrection, that episode that we did, and you were like, most haunted with Girls Aloud. Derek Akora, Girls Aloud take on the UK's most haunted mansion.
That kind of lame shit. No, I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
As for this story, I can't say I outright believe this story, but I'm finding it. I think maybe the way that it's told, I think we're missing some facts and information. I think that story's told in a way that's going to make you think, oh, that's so real, which is what I sort of think. But then I think there's a lot missing from that story that we don't know, as you've told it then. Was that from Unsolved Mysteries, Wikia?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah, so that means there'd be a segment on it on the show, which I'm going to track down after this episode to watch. Look into it a bit more.
Yeah.
So do I? Yeah, I'm on the fence with that story, but I'm leaning more towards believing it. But I've got a healthy ounce of skepticism in me for that one. So yeah, that was a complete non-answer, but there you go.
So maybe. When I was younger, I was almost taught to believe that all of that shit was real. Ghosts are real, psychics are real, all that stuff. Yeah. And as I got older, I formed my own opinions based on like science and stuff, and like you, I don't believe in these fucking people who will tell. I'm getting the letter C. Oh, was it a female that's related to you somehow? Maybe a distant or close relative? And the people are like, yes, that's me. That cold reading, absolute fucking scammy bullshit. People charge people like 50 quid a fucking session on this. I know. It's absolute bollocks. I think that it's absolutely manipulating. However, I remember speaking to a girl I worked with who went to see a psychic after their nan had passed. Yeah. And I had to really fucking hold back about like what my true feelings on it. But the end of the story was that she felt better because of what this psychic had told her. And if that is the case, then great. Yeah. I would never want to take that away from anybody. But I don't think that people should be allowed to make a living off scamming people. However, I think if there's some truth in like people being psychic and stuff, I think it would come from interdimensional kind of thing, like crossing over into a parallel universe in your mind, like transcending and stuff like that. Stuff that could possibly be explained through physics and science that I don't really know that much about, you know. Yeah, like ghosts could just be like another universe that is a bit like the others, you know, that is like living within the same space, but we don't see each other. Yeah. That kind of thing, you know. I would like to believe it. I do not. I'm going to say I probably don't really believe in it. Same with ghosts. I don't really believe ghosts or anything like that. Dragons, on the other hand, I believe in dragons, baby.
As we've heard.
Oh, yeah. My caffeine-driven dragon speech.
Well, yeah, that was Beyond the Sea. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Great episode, we thought. We will be back next episode with Gender Bender. Let's see how they handle this subject.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been the Dark Talk Files. Goodbye and good night.